We have all been sucked into a task where action and awareness begin to merge, a sense of self drops out, time dilates, and yet human performance is through the roof. We know what this is like. We call getting in the zone. It might be during a golf game, it might be when you're painting, it could be when you're writing, but we've all experienced this thing called getting in the zone that is technically referred to as flow. In the 1970s, Mihai Csikszentmihalyi from the University of Chicago, he began studying flow. And he basically defines flow as a non-ordinary state where we experience peak consciousness, where we not only perform our best, but we feel our best. What ends up happening in flow, and the research has taken on all sorts of new proportions as neuroscientists have gotten involved in the late 90s into the 2000s. And over the next several videos, we're going to explore this because you are going to learn how to get more into flow. But what the neuroscience tells us is when we start to experience flow, the stress hormones of cortisol and norepinephrine, they start getting tamped down. And instead, the feel-good and high-performance hormones of dopamine and serotonin, oxytocin, anandamide, these start to get released and we start to feel amazing. And because of that, we perform amazing. These neurochemicals not only help us perform, but it is being called by the neuroscientists the source code of intrinsic motivation. I had the opportunity to take a research questionnaire a few years ago by two guys who are taking up the research of Mihai Csikszentmihalyi. And in our day, the names Jamie Wheal and Steven Kotler, they're the names to know. These are the guys that have taken up that research, brought in neuroscientists, and they are trying to help us learn how to hack flow. How to understand the 17 flow triggers that actually help precipitate and propagate flow. I was one of 6,000 in that early research study, and that those research survey results are written about in the first few chapters of their most recent book, Stealing Fire. But one of the things they noted, and this is what's important for our time here at Wildly Better, is that no less than 48% of the 6,000 surveyed said they experienced flow when they were doing deep work. We've been talking about deep work, high quality work, focus, intensity, and being able to drop down and really 2x and 3x your productivity. Well, do you know what they have found out with flow? When we are in flow, creativity goes up 200%. Learning 490%, and overall productivity 500%, 5x. That's right. So for the next several videos, we are going to explore how can you learn to get into flow. And here's what's really fascinating, gang. Of the 17 flow triggers, several of the triggers that induce flow are team flow triggers. I've gotten the experience of being able to work on several teams that would experience flow, and we're going to talk about how you can help yourself learn to drop into flow, but also how you can help your team. Let me just give you 3 things real quick to help you think about flow in your own life. 3 things that they say is borne out in the research that will help you right here, right now, today. Number 1, if you want to drop into flow, you have to have an intensely focused time. We've talked about zones of zero distraction. We've set these videos up unintentionally because we've been talking about you need focused, intense time. The second thing they say, a huge flow trigger, is having absolutely clear goals. I need to achieve X at the end of this time period, at the end of this zone. So focused intensity, clear goals, and here's the third thing, here's the biggie, the skill challenge ratio has to be right. What does that mean? That means you have to be feeling pushed outside of your comfort zone, but not too far. Too far out of your comfort zone leads to despair and leads to giving up. but enough outside of your comfort zone enables your body and your mind to focus in such a way that those neurochemicals, that chemical smoothie in your brain, releases all that good stuff. And what ends up happening is it creates the conditions in which you end up in flow. If you want to increase your creativity 200%, your learning 490%, if you want to 5x your productivity, then these next several videos are going to help you learn to do that. This is wildly better stuff, and I hope you'll take the journey with us the next several videos. Pass these on to your friends, especially though, pass this on to your team. Because a team in flow, they have astronomical and demonstrated measurable performance gains.